What's up guys, Ruppy here, welcoming you to week 2 of UNPL Season 6. So, last week, not gonna lie, I made some mistakes trying to come out of the gate strong, and the Owl House version of our Columbus Swoo roster paid the price for it. Turns out, after chatting with him after our game, Jakib did, in fact, bring Trick Room, but chose not to use it once he saw what I brought to try and turn it against him. Especially since he did not bring 0 speed IV sets on what would have been his intended Trick Room mons. Between him reading my attempted prep perfectly, and the mistake I made right out of the gate that cost me arguably my best mon against him in Primarina, instead of switching into Farigiraf against the mon that thing was meant to handle, yeah, definitely not a great start for me, at least as far as getting back into doing these draft battles, knowing I have an audience. That's fine though, because we still have a whole season ahead of us to bounce back, and week 2 will see us trying to do just that against an old friend in Arrtz and his Rustboro City Rejectz. Arrtz and I are 1-1 so far in our UNPL encounters over the course of the past few seasons, so this can be considered our long overdue tiebreaker in a sense. And boy does Arrtz have a headache of a team this time around. If you take a good look at his roster, you'll find bulk as far as the eye can see. Lugia was his low tier uber of choice, which is pretty much the definition of bulk, especially with its multi-scale ability. Sylveon is a special tank, Mudsail and Hisui and Avalugg are physical tanks, Petcheron can be a pain with its bulk and versatility. He's got Gouging Fire to eat hits and set up Dragon Dances in my face to try and sweep me. Lots of bulk I need to try and break through if I want to get on the board this season with my first win. His Terra Captains are the aforementioned Hisui and Avalugg, Jolteon, which naturally outspeeds my entire team outside of Dragapult, and Hisui and Decidueye, which he used to great effect in his own Week 1 game. Obviously, the sheer bulk we need to power through is going to be a problem, but as far as I'm concerned, that's the perfect excuse for me to bust out a mon that some probably thought I was crazy to draft, so I can show both the human and demon realms what it can do. So, please show some love for the most powerful witch on the Boiling Isles, the Owl Lady herself, Ida. That's right, I'm calling on the power of slacking to help break through Arrtz's absurdly bulky roster. An Adamant Choice Band with max attack easily achieves a 2-hit KO on virtually everything. And I do mean everything. Double Edge is a stab nuke that nothing will appreciate eating. Earthquake and Knockoff provide me viable coverage and utility. And I also threw Facade on there since Arrtz does have the potential to spread status throughout my team. And I can take full advantage of that. 184 speed EVs benchmark for an adamant max speed Gouging Fire, which allows me to give slacking some special bulk, while its raw HP and physical bulk speaks for itself. Now, I know what you're thinking. How useful can Ida truly be in this game, especially when shackled with the Truant ability? Well, in addition to being an immediate nuke to whatever's in front of it, Truant itself is actually the perfect bait. But I'll touch on that in a bit. First things first, let's shine our Light Glyph spotlight on the Golden Guard, Hunter. He's not going to be playing a support role this week, because I gave him a pair of choice specs to serve as our breaker on the special side of things to what slacking will be doing on the physical end. Pretty standard specs moveset to be honest, but that's all Pult really needs in this matchup. Draco and Shadow Ball are going to hurt whatever Arrtz puts in front of them. Flamethrower gives me a way through Caparaja, and U-turn is crucial as pivoting is going to ideally be part of my plan to tear down all these walls. 160 speed EVs with a timid nature benchmarks for non-Scarf Jolteon, so Pult can naturally outrun everything, and still have a bit of bulk to be able to eat any stray hits. Now, I think it's time we talk about the good witch I know you're all here to see. The star of our Week 2 roster, and probably an even more unique set than what I pulled with Colossal last week. Ironic, considering it's for the bane of Belos' existence, and my other Terra Captain, Luce. That's right, it's finally time for Luce to hit the field. And I'll admit, this plan I cooked up with her, at the heart of it, is very situational. But if I pull it off, then all these walls will hopefully crumble before us. The basic idea behind this set is to get Hawlucha in front of, ideally, Gouging Fire, either through pivoting, or especially using Slacking's Truant as the perfect bait, with Arrtz thinking he's got a free setup turn. With Mirror Herb, Hawlucha can copy a Dragon Dance boost and proceed to both outrun and rip through everything, especially since I'm running Terra Flying to further boost the power of acrobatics. I have Sword Stance to further boost Luce's power if the opportunity arises, Close Combat for Fighting Stab, and Brick Break also for Fighting Stab, but more so to smash through any potential screens from the likes of Morgrim that might try to slow her down. Morgrim is actually the reason behind probably my most curious decision about this set. The ability. There is no Unburden here, despite this being a set that could take full advantage of it if all goes according to plan. And that is actually by design. The idea is to bluff Unburden if I can get Mirror Herb activated, drawing in a potential Morgrim to slow me down with Thunder Wave, and then find out it actually can't paralyze me because of Limber. This would leave Hawlucha at the mercy of a potential Scarf from Greninja or Jolteon, but I'm willing to lay all my glyph cards on the table and let Luce guide us to victory all the same. Of course, what would Luce be without her sweet potato? That's why her girlfriend, Amity, will also be joining the fun this week. For the most part, this is the exact same Salazzle set I ran last week against Jakib, but with two notable changes. I swapped out Knockoff for Taunt to ideally halt any setup attempts or efforts on Arrtz's part to set up rocks, and I have a Focus Sash to guarantee Salazzle can live at least one hit. One thing Arrtz and his bulky roster really don't appreciate is Toxic spread throughout everything, because it puts those walls and tanks on timers and makes it much easier for me to wear them down. This is especially crucial against the likes of Lugia, because if I can permanently take Multiscale out of the equation, we're going to have a much easier time breaking through that monster. But, if anyone's up to the job of spreading crucial poison, it's Amity. Next up, we have Scarra, and I'm determined to make it up to her this week after the major blunder I made last week that cut her bar performance so short. I'll be honest, I went through probably about 10 different ideas before I ultimately settled on this set to try and break through this team. This is basically a tanky Calm Mind set, with modest max special attack and perfectly split EVs invested into HP and physical defense, so Scarra can boost up and chip things down. I went Draining Kiss so I can be able to heal up while also using Psychic Noise to deny Arrtz the ability to heal, ideally allowing Primarina to win a potential 1v1 against a Calm Mind Lugia set if it comes down to it. Though, personally, I'd prefer if we didn't have that scenario. The main reason I went Draining Kiss as my Fairy Stab is because I needed to go Covert Cloak to deal with Pecharunt, because the last thing I need is for Primarina to get all set up, and then a Malignant Chain both toxics her and also confuses her because of Poison Puppeteer. So this gives me a way to still be able to heal Scarra, so she can hopefully be allowed to have a much better performance than last week. Last but not least, I decided to bring the little gremlin Kikimora to this game for her UNPL debut. This is a basic Boots 4 attack set, with the idea being to potentially bluff webs, which could allow me that all-important pivot with Volt Switch if Gouging Fire isn't Boots and afraid of losing some speed to get Hawlucha into position. I went modest max special attack so I could hit Lugia as hard as possible with super effective Thunders, as well as Jolteon with Bug Buzz. Energy Ball addresses Mudsdale. Basically, Kikimora is here to chip away at things and pivot around so I can hopefully bring my crazy schemes to fruition. Especially since I benchmarked so that, even at modest, she's still always outrunning a Jolly Max Speed Gouging Fire without any boosts. That is the magical mayhem we are bringing to Week 2 of UNPL Season 6. With any luck, we'll be able to power our way through all of Arrtz's bulk and get ourselves on the board with a win. But time will tell if these spells I'm cooking up are going to light the way to victory, or blow up horribly in my face. I guess we'll find out when it's battle time. Alright, it is battle time. Let's see if I can rebound from my week 1 misplays that put me in the dirt. So Arrtz and I already exchanged Mons before the game, so I do know the 6 he brought. A little surprised not to see something like Mudsdale or Copperage that can set rocks, but I'm not going to argue with it. I was originally considering leading Amity just because of that. Taunt something and then Toxic. But looking at this team, I'm incredibly tempted to maybe just lead Ida and start trying to blow things up right off rip. Alternatively, Hunter's a lead because it does outrun everything unless that's like a Scarf Gren or something. Yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and lead Ida. And we'll start blowing things up from there. Not having... Yeah, not seeing rocks on his side is actually really huge because Amity's Sash is pretty much relatively intact. And will stay that way until she eats a hit. So yeah, I am very comfortable leading Slacking and just going from there. This is pretty much what Ida was here to do. Come in and break through Arrtz' bulk. So, good luck, have fun, Arrtz. Make sure you check out his side of the battle, give him a like and a sub. And let's see if my Owl House crew can rebound from week 1. As he leads with the Gren. Which is perfectly fine with me. If you were something along the lines of a physical Gren, do you threaten me? Just out of sheer curiosity. Maybe if you're something like Low Kick. I'm just gonna go for an Earthquake. I don't want to damage myself too much with Double Edge right out of the gate. Especially since I'm gonna be eating a hit if he does stay in. But Ida's definitely gonna get a huge hit off on something. You just U-turn. That is fair. So, the only thing that would be safe coming in is Lugia. Which now makes me wonder if maybe I should have... You also having U-turn poses the possibility of Scarf, perhaps? Which would make sense considering I do have a Dragapult. That would not surprise me. But yeah, Lugia would be the safest switch in, period. Everything else... Oh, this is not going to appreciate this Earthquake. That is really good damage on Avalugg right out of the gate, which I am gladly going to take. And since we are now in a Truant turn, and I know you're Terraflying, I'm locked in Earthquake anyway. I think Scar is my play. Because... yeah, Scar should be in a good spot to start setting up against this thing, potentially. Oh! Heat-Screen Avalugg does get rocks! Huh, for some reason I thought it didn't. Well, that kind of ruins my plans with Amity a bit. But that is fine. I'm gonna Calm Mind right in your face, because yeah, you're probably gonna switch. And you go into... Sylveon! Which now raises an interesting question. Are you Spec Sylveon? I think we're just gonna go ahead and Draining Kiss. See how this plays out. I outspeed you! Interesting. That tells me potential speed tie. Yawn! Yawn Sylveon. That's a little annoying. So, how do we proceed from here? You are obviously not... You're obviously not, Specs. You are definitely a bulkier set. I feel like I just go back into Ida. I want to keep Scar awake. This thing having Yawn definitely gets in Scar's way. I need this thing gone for sure. Ida will take rocks. I will probably take a... Use Baton Pass. Oh, this Sylveon is going to be annoying. So what do you send in against Ida the Owl Lady? That is Petulant. Which, I mean, on one hand, I kind of wanted to see. I'm gonna go ahead and knock off whatever item you have. Which should still do some big damage. Actually, do you switch into Lugia? I think that's your Lugia. Oh, you are not going to appreciate this knockoff. Big damage even through multi-scale, and you no longer have leftovers. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Do I go back into Scara on you? Because I want to say you're a Calm Mind variant. No, I'm going to go into Amity. I feel like you set up knowing I've got Truant, so I want to take this opportunity to try to Toxic you. I will take my Rocks Chip. As you recover. Yeah, that one doesn't surprise me. So I'm going to go ahead and Toxic something here. I would love if it was this thing to permanently break multiscale. I feel like he won't let me have that. But honestly, Toxicing anything would be nice right about now. He does let me Toxic this. I will take that. Unless, well, now that I think about it, Sylveon maybe Heal Bell predicting this. There goes Amity. That kind of sucks, but it's fine. Because Amity Toxic Lugia, which is probably, out of what he brought, probably the best thing I could have asked for in this matchup. Also the fact that he went straight for the Earth Power. So, looking at this, I'm going to go into Hunter. Because I can rip a huge chunk out of this thing with Shadow Ball right now. I will take Rocks, which sucks, but that's fine. And I should be able to take a hit from this thing. So I'm going to fire off a Spec Shadow Ball, and we're going to go from here. I'm going to take a huge chunk out of something. Ideally Lugia. Maybe Sylveon. I wouldn't mind Sylveon, actually. I think I can really take out... Actually, let's see. Well, Sylveon wouldn't appreciate it, that's for sure. I guess it depends. We will see what he does, because... I mean, Gren could take... Well, Gren, I wouldn't think would appreciate... Nope, he's just gonna let this thing eat Shadow Ball. That is a huge hit! As he just fires off an Aero Blast, which Hunter takes. This thing eats toxic damage. And I'm just firing off another Shadow Ball. Does he switch into Sylveon now? I wouldn't be surprised if he does. I think this is Sylveon. Yes, it is. So, Spec Shadow Ball incoming. I do get a special defense drop, which is incredibly nice. That did not do a whole lot, though. Part of me is really tempted right now, honestly, to stay in and Shadow Ball again, predicting him to either Wish or Heal Bell on a potential switch, or even Yawn. Thinking I'm going to switch out. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stay in and fire off another Shadow Ball. I need this Sylveon out of the way. Oh, that's a crit. Oh, I am so sorry about that one, Arrtz. So, ugh. On the plus side, I guess, because of that crit, Sylveon is incredibly weak, which I am all for. Lugia's taken a lot of damage. In comes Gouging Fire, which... it is attack boosting. Okay, so it is attack boosting, Alright. That is good to know. Attack boosting, booster energy. So... I guess with that in mind... I'm gonna switch to loose. I want to protect into DD. I want this so bad. If I call this wrong and I lose loose, fair enough. He does DD! That is exactly what I was hoping for! Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that so much. I severely doubt. I don't think I don't think I can gamble on the Swords Dance. So I'm just gonna Terra Flying and we're just gonna go straight for the acrobatics. As he switches! Oh, I could have gotten the SD! I could have gotten the SD! That is fine, though. That's fine. That's fine. Gouging also being without that booster energy boost is going to be really nice later, but, yeah, that does some nice damage. I know he's Terra Flying. If he goes that now... What is he at? He's at about 25%. So there's another acrobatics would be a roll to kill from this range. It's a roll I think is in my favor, though. So I'm going to go for it. He does Terra! Which means this acrobatics is about to hurt a lot worse now. Oh, I will take this. I will gladly get this Avalugg out of the way. This is how I was hoping. I was so hoping. Goodbye, Avalugg. So, if Gren is Scarf, it definitely outruns me, but I don't think he's probably operating under the assumption I'm Unburdened because bluffing Unburdened was the plan for this set, as he goes into Petulant now, which is probably physically defensive. I'm at 260, so I can take a Malignant Chain if he wants to go for it. I'm going to SD in this thing's face. Why not? I'm willing to gamble. Parting Shot! Interesting. I mean, I'm technically at the benefits of a Swords Dance with that +1 speed. So it's not the worst thing in the world. As he goes into this thing. Which, if he's Scarf, he outruns me and definitely kills me. If he's not... I'm just gonna Acro. We're gonna... Okay, he's not Scarf. That's good to know. Is he Sash, maybe? Not Sash! Alright. Gren being gone is huge. Sylveon's weak. Lugia's weak. This thing is back in now. And I'm just gonna pop you with this +2 Parting Shot right here and now. I need big damage off on you. As you now go for the Malignant Chain. No poison, no poison. Ah, I got the poison. Which means Poison Puppeteer is going to confuse me. That sucks. It's fine, though. It's fine. And he has Black Sludge. I'm just going to go for another Acro. We're going to see how this plays out. Come on, Loose. I believe in you. I get the Acro, and that is Pecharon gone. So, Loose is... If she doesn't hit herself in confusion at any point, she is ultimately going to succumb to Toxic before I pull off a full Hawlucha sweep. Which is unfortunate, but Lugia's just about dead. Sylveon's just about dead. Gouging Fire, I can deal with, I think. In comes Lugia. That is about 25%. You probably try to recover, I would imagine. I'm just going to go for the Acro. Come on, Loose. Nope. Fair enough. You just went straight for the Aeroblast. That's fine. Loose did everything I hoped for her, and then some. So, given what's in front of me right now, I'm gonna send in Kikimora. Because if you're a bulkier set, I'm pretty sure I outrun you. I can take an Aeroblast without any Calm Mind boosts. And I think my play is to Volt Switch out and get myself set up to address a potential Gouging Fire. So I'm going to Volt Switch on you. You switch out. If you go into Gouging now, I will take that. Because that allows me... Yep, that's exactly what you're going to do. So that's going to be Chip Off on this thing. I want so badly to go into Ida right now. And I'm going to do just that. I'm out of range of an Adamant Flare Blitz, since you don't have the booster energy anymore. I want to knock off... Or no, I want to Earthquake you. But I feel like you might just switch into Lugia. Screw it, we'll go for the Earthquake. As you switch out, probably back to Lugia. No, you're going to sack Sylveon. That's fine. I will take that, because Sylveon is now off the table. And back into Gouging, because of course. You are definitely going to try to get a DD set up this time. Because it's my loafing turn. I'm going to stay in and take the... And just loaf. You outrun me, so that definitely confirms you're Jolly. I'm willing to take the loafing turn, just because if you get greedy here... So, if you Flare Blitz, if you Dragon Claw, I should live. You would have to Flare Blitz to KO me, and I will definitely take that recoil damage. Yep, you're gonna Flare Blitz. So... Okay. I mean, you're gonna get the DD either way, but slacking pretty much did, pretty much what I needed to this game. And now I'm going into Skara. I will take rocks, that is fine. I'm going to just go ahead and straight up Draining Kiss you as you Dragon Dance again. I just needed you in range for a Surf. Because you should not you should not be able to OHKO me. And this Surf should KO. Thunderfang! Okay, kudos to the tech. But that's a dead Gouging Fire. And Lugia's all that remains, and you are low enough that you should drop to a Surf. And thanks to the Toxic, you can't 1v1 me anyway. So we should have this. Well, no, you do 1v1 me, actually. Because I know you actually have speed. Well, you would outrun me. I'm still gonna go for a Surf in case you try to recover. I probably should have just gone for a Draining Kiss, honestly. Nope, you just go straight for the Aeroblast, which does pick Scar off. That is fine, though. Because now Hunter comes in and finishes you off with a Shadow Ball. So that should do it. GG Arrtz! Always a fun time when we play, and always a way to elevate my stress levels. That was a good game. Arrtz, you have such a fat team. It was so hard to break through, but I am so happy that I got to pull off the Hawlucha tech. Unburden would have been better, but I mean, you had no Scarfers that outran it, so it still kind of worked out in the end. Make sure you guys go check out Arrtz' side of the battle, give him a like and a sub. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I have been Ruppy, and my Columbus Swoo Owl House Edition, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.